Hey guys, and Happy New Year. It is a few days into 2015, and I have to tell you, I am super excited for this year. I feel like there are so many good things that are on the horizon for me and my family, and just for a lot of the people in my life right now. 2015 is already starting to show a lot of promise. So this video, if you couldn't tell from the title, is going to be what my goals are for 2015. Now, last year I did a video probably right before this time of year talking about what like my resolutions and my plans and stuff were for 2014, and a lot of those I didn't succeed with. And I think it's because before I even started, I put so much pressure on myself by being super strict with it that I just failed from the get-go. So this year I'm doing things a little differently. I do have goals that could be taken as resolutions, but I want to see them more as like a lifestyle change. A lot of the things I have on here are things I've been wanting to do for a while, and they're more of things that are going to affect my lifestyle more rather than like, oh, I'm going to be completely debt free in a year. Like I'm trying not to be super strict with like deadlines and all that kind of stuff. I want it to be a little more laid back, I guess you could say, because I don't want to overwhelm myself right from the beginning. So I have my little goals page. This is in the back of the notes section in my Erin Condren planner. So I'm just going to go right from the top. They're really not in any order. I just kind of started listing things of things I either wanted to do this year or try to accomplish. So I'll just start from the top. The first one is, it says, stick to our monthly budget and complete the baby steps 1 and 2 of the Total Money Makeover. I want to live more and spend less. So I might have mentioned this in my last video, but my husband and I we're in the middle of reading The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, and we really want to go through that process of trying to become debt-free, not living paycheck to paycheck, start to become debt-free, and then eventually become completely debt-free. We don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore, and we really just we don't want money to really control our world, like our lives. And I understand that money obviously is, you have to have money to live and all that kind of stuff, but I have a different viewpoint now on what's important versus what is, what we need. Like there's so many things that we buy on a regular basis that are not necessities. And there's so many ways that we could be more intentional with our finances that we haven't been doing. So we're really going to get really serious about that this year. And I know I said I wasn't going to make this like a, I have to do this kind of thing or like put like too many limitations on myself. But this is one that we both know this is going to be like a long-term thing, not just for us, but for our kids too. So we're also going to be attending the Financial Peace University, which is like a course based off of Dave Ramsey teaching. There's one offered at our church in April and May. So we're going to take one of those. I feel like I've read a lot of people say that it doesn't really hit them, like it doesn't really click with them until after they've done that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'm ready to do it now. I'm really excited to start doing this because one of my goals I've always wanted since I started college years and years ago was I wanted to be debt free, because I feel like with that debt looming over my head, it just holds too much power, and then it just creates opportunities for more bad choices, and I just don't want that anymore. So that is one of our biggest goals of the year, and that's for my husband and I to do, not just me. The second one is, I wrote, get intentional about my health. I want to watch my portions, I want to get active, and make better food choices. Now, if you notice, I did not say I wanted to lose this many pounds or I want to lose weight. This year, I'm not putting that on myself because losing weight would be great. But my goal for this year when it comes to my health is just to get healthy. This last year, so summer of 2014, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that explained a lot of the things I've been going through since I had my youngest son, who just turned 7. I don't know how that happened, but so that made a lot of sense to me as I was researching it, and to why it was hard for me to lose weight, why we couldn't conceive again after he was born. It was really hard for us when we were trying, and just a whole bunch of different things that had come up in my life, like for my health, made a lot more sense once I was diagnosed with that. So it is a little harder for me to lose weight, but I'm not letting that be an excuse for me not to get intentional about my health. If I just make smarter choices, then I'm going to get healthy. It doesn't have to be a thing where I say, okay, in 6 months I want to lose 50 pounds, which would be great. But if that doesn't happen, but I'm healthier, I'm okay with that. Underneath that, though, I did put weight loss markers. Like, these are going to be places during the year I want to check my progress and see how I've been doing. The first one's in April when a good friend of mine gets married. I'm part of the wedding party, so I need to be careful, and I want to make sure that I can fit into a dress that is flattering. July 15th, which is my husband and I's 10-year wedding anniversary, and then September 8th is my 30th birthday. So when I saw my doctor this last year, she said that by the time I turn 30, she really wants to see a change in my health, the way I'm living, and my weight. So I know that I would rather just be healthy than say, oh, I've lost, 100 pounds. That may happen one day. That would be amazing. But if it doesn't happen, as long as I know I'm healthy, I'm going to be okay with that. So those are the two, I feel like, biggest things on my goals list for this year is just being intentional. I'm going to film another video after this one talking about my word for the year, which is intentional. And that'll explain more in the video why I say that a lot probably through all these. I'll link that down below if you guys, it's more of like the spiritual, like faith-based way to look at a year and like making new goals and stuff like that. So I will link that down below. You guys should check that out if you are interested. All right, so the next one I have is create a cleaning schedule that works for me and stick to it, a daily, weekly, and monthly list. So this is something I wanted to do last year, and I have done it sporadically throughout the year, especially a daily and then a weekly. I have a laundry schedule that I usually stick to pretty good, which has been really working for me, but I really need to make a list of things that need to be done daily, but then also weekly and then monthly. I really want to get on top of that because my husband and I are hoping to start doing some small like improvements and renovations to our house this year. And so there won't be anything too big, but as long as I'm on a cleaning schedule, I know that when we're ready to do each project, that I don't have to worry about the fact, oh, wait, I have to empty out the closet and I have to get it all ready before we can, expand it or whatever. So I want to make sure that I'm on top of that before we do any renovations. The next one kind of goes along with that, and it's more home-cooked meals plus meal planning every week. I've noticed over the last couple weeks I've been meal planning week by week, and that has really helped us to not only save money, but to make sure that we have a home-cooked meal every night. Because it used to be I would do one big grocery shopping trip a month, and then usually 2 weeks later, I would be like scrambling, like, okay, I don't have this for this meal, and it just wasn't working for me. But I'm noticing if I don't do that big trip, and if I just go every week, I am able to get the things I need for the week. And that usually means all of our meals, like dinner-wise. And then on the weekends, make sure we have stuff for breakfast and lunches. But I also have to look at my calendar and be like, okay, do I have an event at church this week? Do the kids have something at school? Do we have a birthday? Like, December was really jam-packed for us, especially when it came to food and our budget, because my son's birthday, we had Christmas Day at our house, plus we had 2 other Christmas type parties, and then I had events at church I had to take food to. So our budget was shot for December when it came to food. So I want to make a food budget. That I didn't have that on here, but that's part of it. I want to make a food budget and stick to that. And meal planning really helps with that, because if I know I'm going to the store with this list of things and that's all I need, then I know I'm going to stick to that. And I'm learning the prices of these items pretty much to where I can guess before I even go, okay, I'm probably going to spend about $60 today. Like, I can usually guesstimate that, and I'm pretty close. Now, that doesn't include, like, if I got any coupons or if I see a better sale for an item that I need at a different store. So that just helps with the savings. And how I'm meal planning, let me see if I can find it really quick. I'm not doing anything too drastic right now. Let me see. This was 2 weeks ago. Let me unclip this. I'm just writing at the very bottom of my planner. So I'm writing like what we have down here. This was a few weeks ago in December. So, and if there's a night or if there's a certain day where I'm like, you know what, I don't know what we're going to have that day because it's kind of a busy day and anything could happen kind of thing, I just leave it blank and I don't put pressure on myself. What I do though is I do make sure that I have something else on hand just in case. So like I always have what I call backup meals, which for me, they're just super simple, like no thought process at all. So like hot dogs, mac and cheese, grilled cheese and soup, like things like that. I always have on hand. Spaghetti, I always have that stuff on hand to where if we didn't eat out or if we didn't have like takeout or something, then I know I have that if it's like a quick thing I need to make. Those also kind of make for quick lunches too, so I kind of have a lot of that stuff on hand anyway. Anyway, enough about the meal planning. So the next one is just something I know for sure I need to have in 2015. I'm going to have a large yard sale to purge the house of clutter and excess things. So what our goal is we started in December, we're going to start continuing until May when we have it, but we're going to purge the house of excess things. That could be kitchen Tupperware, which I know I need to go through. It can be like my candle stash. There's no reason I need to have 30 candles and I rarely burn them anymore. So I'm going to keep like 4 and sell the rest. Or that could mean that I'm going to sell some stuff on Facebook, like my wax collection, which is quite big. There's no way I'm going to go through all this wax before it goes bad. So I have a lot of wax friends I can sell some wax to. So like there's just things like that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to live a little simpler, as in like we don't need all this excess. But also the money is going to go towards 2 things. One, my kids go to church camp every year, and I've talked about this and I've talked about it on my other channel. So anyway, my kids go to church camp every year and I'm a counselor there. So I get to go for free, but the kids don't. So this is going to be one of their fundraisers to earn their way to camp. The second thing is anything that's left after camp is going back into the house. So it's going to be like renovation, improvements. We're doing this in January. We're painting some of the rooms of the house. So we want to make sure that we can paint the other rooms of the house halfway through the year. We're redoing my daughter's room. She needs a new bed and just things like that. And, you know, some of that stuff's not cheap. And part of the Dave Ramsey thing is those are not necessities. So what I'm thinking is we're going to that's our goal, is to earn money for that. So that's where we're starting. Hopefully that will be successful and we'll be able to get some of the projects done that we want to do. Alright, so number 6 on my list, if you're keeping track, is stick to a morning and evening routine. This kind of goes with the fly lady thing. I really want to start doing something where I take the kids to school in the morning, I come back home, and lately I've been kind of doing this, but I will have my coffee, you know, check my social media and stuff. Some days I'll read my Jesus Calling devotional, and then I will usually start my cleaning if my husband's at work. If he's home, I am distracted from the get-go, and it is just not a pretty thing. But I'm hoping that I can stick to that. And then evening as well. Like, I need to be able to be proactive enough to look at my calendar and say, okay, tomorrow's a really busy day. I'm not going to be able to get my morning routine, like the cleaning, done before I go somewhere, but I have time tonight. Why don't I do it tonight? So I want to be able to make sure I'm constantly checking my planner to make sure I have the week prepped for us, but then also I need to have myself in a morning and evening routine to know that I'm doing the best I can for all of us. Number 7 is read in my Jesus Calling every day. So that's a devotional book that I have that there's a little thing you read every day, and you would think it'd be really easy to read just a short little paragraph every day. But for some reason, there are days where I just don't get to it. And as a mom, and I'm working part-time now, which isn't nearly as much as some of the working moms out there, but it still takes up time to where I'm not at home. So I just need to make sure I'm very intentional about my time, and I want to include that. I really want to start my day each day with that. Every time I do, it's exactly what I need to hear for the day, because if I read my Jesus Calling book and then do my praying and then I go about my day, I always feel like I have a better day. So that is one thing I really want to be very focused on and make sure I do. The next one is going to be a hard one for me, and it is procrastinate less. I am a huge procrastinator. I work really well under pressure, and I don't know if that's why I procrastinate or what, but if I have a deadline for next Tuesday, you can bet I probably won't do whatever it's supposed to be till Monday. And I don't know if it's because I work best when I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to be done now. You would think I would rather be like, okay, I can get it done today and have the rest of the week off. Well, for some reason, I don't think like that. So I procrastinate a lot, and I really don't want to do that anymore because it ends up hurting us in some areas, and I would rather not procrastinate. So that's going to be a big thing for me to work on. this year especially. The last one I have here, it says, be true to and love myself. So something I've always struggled with is comparison. And this last year I took a life lessons class in my church, and it was Proverbs 31 Women with a Twist. And the twist was not letting comparison steal our joy. I've always been a person who's been very insecure, especially about my looks. And if I'm if I can be on the same level with my friends. So randomly the other night, I don't know if I was sick of something or fed up of something or if I saw something on TV, but I was like, you know what? I don't like to wear my hair down. I'm going to wear it up. I like to wear t-shirts and jeans and sweatshirts. That's what I'm going to wear. If I'm showered every day and I keep myself clean and hygienic, there is no reason I can't wear what I feel comfortable in. And there's no reason why, if I look appropriate, I can't dress that way. I think what it is just my friends, a lot of them are very, they love doing their hair and wearing it down, and a lot of them love my hair curly because my hair is curly, but it's a pain in the butt for me to do, and so often I'd rather just have it up and not have to worry about it, and that just makes me feel comfortable. When I feel uncomfortable, I don't want to do things, or I get really irritated. So that's just something, but I need to be happy with who I am, who God has made me to be. I am a plus size girl. I don't think I'll ever not be a plus size girl, and I have to be okay with that. As long as I'm healthy and taking care of my body and, you know, being clean and all that kind of stuff, then I need to know that it's okay to be that way. And so that was just something that I really thought about the other night, and so that I added it to my resolutions, or to my goals, because I really want to focus on being happy with who I am this year. And that is the last thing I have on my list. So I know this is a long video. Hopefully I can edit it down a little bit. So these are my 2015 goals. I'm really looking forward to this year. I have some big milestones coming our way, and I'm just really excited to see where the Lord takes us. I want to be able to come back this time next year and reflect on this past year, and then, you know, let you know how these goals went and how we're doing with some of them. And then there's some of these I'll probably update throughout the year too. You'll either hear me talk about it or I'll do videos about it. So yeah, if you guys have made a 2015 goals or resolution video, please pop it down below. I would love to check it out. I really like watching these kind of videos. So I'm sorry this video was kind of long. I'll make sure not to let them be this long again. Thank you so much for watching, and check out my other video about the one word for the year video, and I hope to see you guys back soon. Take care. Bye.